Ahoy there, Captain Benzie here, coming at you with another video for Brawl Stars. Now, my last video seemed to inspire a fair amount of discussion, which was really cool, and there's definitely a lot of information to unpack there in other future videos too. But today, I wanted to answer the question that I was asked most, which was, why don't I make content on Brawl Stars or talk about it more? Now, before we jump in on this one, if you enjoyed the video, let me know by hitting like on it and consider subscribing to the channel for all things mobile gaming. Let me know what topics you'd like to see me cover in future videos by commenting below or finding me on social media. Alright, buckle up, let's go. Now let me start by saying that I've enjoyed Brawl Stars since it released. I wasn't in the beta, but I was there on day one of global launch, and I've watched the game grow and change, and I do believe that the story of Brawl Stars is pretty much the story of the rise of mobile gaming, but that's definitely another video. By the time I got good at Brawl Stars though, there were already a lot of content creators going around for it. Content creators from other Supercell games had already moved across, and folks from the beta had already been putting out guides, tips and tricks videos, etc. for a while. At the point of Brawl Stars launch, that was what I was most interested in making, the kind of content that I wanted to do, so it just didn't feel like there was much of a place for me in the Brawl Stars content creator community. Now, ultimately, why would people watch me over these other guys with their pro plays and pedigree of previous Supercell games? So, I focused on CNC Rivals and Armorjet and other games instead. Now, of course, some people have said in response to my previous video that they would watch content as a more casual player. As the Quackinator said on my Discord, maybe people would watch my content as I seem to be facing the same problems that many other players around the world might be facing, such as crap internet, and teammates who are so bad, I would genuinely rather see them just be AFK instead. I'm also not afraid of expressing my opinions, I suppose, good or bad, but the Quackinator thinks that I'm able to do that in a constructive manner, which, he suggests, could possibly be useful to some people. Also, I suppose, as a casual, I'm part of the larger group of players. It could be about my journey as a casual player, coming from that place of someone who isn't a pro player, who isn't surrounded by other top-tier players. So, you know what, thank you, Quackinator. This video is inspired by your words. Anyway, let's have a look at all this and unpack it piece by piece. I'll admit, I am a pretty average player. I'm sitting at around 9,000 trophies, despite the fact that almost all of my brawlers are power level 9 or 10. This is partly thanks to time spent playing, or at least opening the events for the tokens, and maybe getting the first win for each when they're open, just to get the big tokens for the big boxes. But ultimately, most of it does come down to money spent. You see, I don't shy away from making purchases in games that I actually enjoy. The Quackinator is also right. I'm here in Zimbabwe, so my ping isn't great. I do often get that wonderful Wi-Fi icon of doom, and yeah, I often rage at my teammates too. That all said, I do need to address that first and foremost, I am just an average player skill-wise. I often get over-aggressive, or I put myself out of position, or I use my abilities at the wrong time. I get the concepts of Brawl Stars and each of the brawlers, but I'm just not brilliant at the execution, you know? Maybe you'd find that kind of thing fun to watch, watching me utterly fail at playing Brawl Stars. Now, I still have fun for the most part, but yeah, I want to talk about teammates, because teammates do inspire a blinding rage in me often. There should be footage on screen now of a string of games I played yesterday, where every single match had what I call a living statue. Now, these are those players that just stand there. They throw an ability every few seconds, maybe take a step to the side from time to time. They're not AFK, they just can't be bothered to play. It's infuriating, and there are just two things that I do not understand about this. Now look, if these troglodytes didn't want to play the game, that's fine, but why did they download it, install it, make an account, pick a brawler and an event, and then queue up for it? That is just so much more effort than not playing. Like, literally, the not playing requires no effort at all. Secondly, why in 3 years of this game being out, yes, it launched in 2017, happy 3-year anniversary, I guess, coming soon. Why in 3 years of this game is there not a block or report function? Precisely because of these players. I don't want to be matched with these people ever again. They utterly ruin the experience for me, and they send me down the road to Tilt Town. In fact, you can hear it now, the rage just bubbling. Now, getting enraged on PC or console is bad enough, but there, a rage fling at least is protected by wires and cabling. If I want to fling my PS4 out of a window, I have to unplug the damn thing first, at which point I've probably calmed down just enough to realise, well, that's not a great idea. On mobile, however, a rage fling is going to send my Razer Phone 2 soaring to destruction with a mere flick of the wrist. That's expensive, and tilting out literally therefore forces me to stop playing the game and do something else until I calm down. And you know what? It also makes me less likely to return for a while, because, you know, I hate the feeling of tapping that play button and fearing that I'm going to be matched with one of these people. You just know that they would turn using their keyboard in World of Warcraft. Sure, if I could block players, my block list would already be longer than my friends list, but that really should be a choice. It feels like it's purposefully left out to keep the queue times short. I'd personally rather have longer queues to have meaningful opponents and teammates, but maybe that's just me. Beyond this, there is the genuine issue of teammate skill. Now, before I say anything more on what is obviously an incendiary topic, little bit of a minefield. Again, I state that I am not the best player. I make stupid choices, I make stupid plays. I also always preach that in a team-based game you should always look first and foremost to your own performance. You've heard me mention this in my Dead by Daylight mobile videos, you've heard me mention this in my Armor Jet videos. Yeah, your teammates were half-cooked baked potatoes, but what could you have done better in that match? Focus on what you can change, focus on the factors of the things that you can do better, look at your performance, how could you improve? Yeah, practice what you preach, Benzie, I get it. But the thing is, I do. I like to come away from a match, win or lose, and evaluate my own performance. It helps me grow as a player to work out what I did well and should thus keep doing, and what I did badly and thus should really stop doing. It helps me grow as a player, but some of these teammates, they just have to be trolling. Like, seriously, no human being can possibly be that dumb and still be able to play a game and breathe simultaneously. It just boggles the mind. You know, I'm talking about those mics who, whilst carrying 12 gems in Gem Grab, decide they need just one more, so they double back to grab it, and run straight into the freshly respawned enemy team, drop all the gems, and lose the game for us right in the last few seconds, because they just needed 13. 12 gems wasn't enough, they needed 13. I'm talking about those pocos who seem to think that the aim of the match is just to use the springboards as many times as they can, even though every time they do use one it sends them smack bang into the middle of the enemy team and they die in literally half a second. I'm talking about those mortises who spam their ability to rush up the field in Brawl Ball. They grab the ball, they run to the enemy goal, only to spin 3 times, try to aim a trick shot, completely fluff it, and then be caught out by Rosa, BB, and El Primo appearing, murdering them to paste, grabbing the ball, and then sprinting back down the field to score. Woo! Yeah, you know these people. You've played matches with all 3 of them, and you probably have even more horror stories about it than I do. You know, it's upsetting, but it's handleable. You take a deep breath in, you hold it, you release it slowly, and you feel that tension drain from you. You hit play, you load in. Barley takes 2 steps to the left. He throws a bottle off to the side, and then takes 2 steps back down. And now you need a new phone. Well, thanks for listening to this, guys. It's been cathartic just to get to rant a little bit. I do adore Brawl Stars. It's the golden child of mobile gaming as far as I'm concerned, and I genuinely think it does so much right. But, you know, I still find it to be the single most infuriating experience on mobile that I just can't delete. Like, literally, any other game that infuriates me to this point gets deleted. Brawl Stars, I love the game so much that that's how good this game is. I get this worked up by it and I still have it installed. Anyway though, let's flip all this on its head. What do you love about Brawl Stars? What changes would you make to the game to make it even better? How do you think Brawl Stars could be even more amazing? If you play Brawl Stars, drop your thoughts into the comment section below, then come join my Discord and give yourself the Brawl Stars role to chat about it. Add me in-game and teach me how to be better whilst also reducing my chances of getting a living statue. If I'm teamed up with 2 of you, woohoo! No living statues, no idiots. It could be amazing. Please help me, I beg you. Anyway folks, thank you ever so much for listening to me. Happy sailing and see you in the arena.